Today, great to have you back for the third in our series of video tutorials for fingerpickers from LearnGuitarYourself.com. In the first two tutorials, you learnt how to develop some very intricate and detailed fine motor skills with your right hand. In this lesson, we're going to develop those even further and start to introduce your left hand up here on the fretboard. We're still in open G tuning, Spanish, which is D, G, D, G, B, D. And the reason for that is that we can start to develop some left hand skills, further refine our right hand skills, and make something that is musically interesting, makes sense musically, but doesn't tax you physically too much. We're slowly learning how to do that, and being an open tuning makes that possible. Okay. So I'll just move the camera so that you can see both my hands. How am I going to do this? There we go, that's better. Now, with this exercise is in two parts. The first part is on a G chord, and our finger picking is in that pattern there. Thumb, 1, 2, 1. So that's thumb on the G string, index finger on the G on the fourth string, open 5th string B, back to the G. Now, alternating bars, we're going to play a different note on that third beat, on the B string there. For the first one, it's open. For the next one, I want you to play the first fret, which is a C note, on the second, the 5th string, the second from the bottom. When you're playing that note, avoid having your finger flat like that. Instead, you're pushing down perpendicular onto the string. Okay? That tends to be harder to get pressure on it like that, and you're also fretting that top string, which you may not want to do. In our case, we don't want to do. So you need to be able to just fret the one string at a time. Try to avoid grabbing your guitar like that. You want a little bit of space between the back of your guitar and your hand. Your thumb, some players, blues players, particularly in open tunes, will play over the top like that. For this exercise, that's going to be quite restrictive. You're better off having your thumb back a little bit. Don't get too concerned about that. The main thing is that your wrist is straight, your elbow is down by your side, and your shoulder is comfortable. Yeah? So here's the first two bars of our exercise. Repeat it. There was more than two bars there. But that's it. You play open, that's one bar, that's two bars. And we repeat them, playing exactly the same pattern with your right hand, and every second time down there on the C. Let's play 4 bars now. That little finger sticking out like that is from me overstretching when I used to play Bach, and it's an odd shape, so careful, overstretching. Now on the fourth one, don't go to the C. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. The reason that you don't go to C on the fourth one is because we're about to change to a new chord, and that's just easier if you come from an open position, because the chord that we want to play is up here on the 5th fret. Okay, now I'll just move my guitar over here so you can see it. Your second finger is playing that C note. Because we're tuned to an open G tuning, that 5th fret there on that second string is a C. In standard tuning it would be a D. But we're not in standard tuning, so that's a C. The first finger isn't playing anything. The third finger is playing this 5th string, or that one that's tuned to a B, on that same 5th fret. And it sounds like an E. Okay, which is the same as in standard tuning. In standard tuning that 5th string is a B as well. Okay, so they're the only two notes that we're playing. And your right hand pattern is, instead of thumb 1, 2, 1, it's thumb 1, 2, 3. Yeah? So here's the chord. Here's what it sounds like. A C chord. It's actually a C sus2. Okay, now you'll hear that last note is lower than the second last one, which may confuse you because you're used to, as you come up with your fingers, it becoming higher. Now it's not high because you're fretting it. So don't worry about that. You still want to get that last note on the top string with your third ring finger there. Okay, there's the... There's what it sounds like in that C chord. So I'll just play those couple of bars for you. Now the C, back to the G. And you just simply repeat that over and over again. 1 to the 4th, 1 to the 4th, 1 to the 4th. So you've got 1,000 million trillion songs. The thing that people can come up a bit of a cropper with this one is on this C chord, right? Because what's happening, all of a sudden, we've got two things to think about: your right hand and your left hand. Your right hand's getting better, but it's still not where it's going to be eventually. Your left hand hasn't got a clue just yet, right? So as you're bringing this left hand into play, your right hand is under a bit of pressure. Yeah? So you may find that coming back to get that thumb in tune, in time, I beg your pardon, in time, can be a bit difficult, right? So if that's the case, slow it down. Just practice the thumb. Practice that. Then your full chord. In time. Okay? It may help to sit in front of a mirror or camera on your computer, so that you can see that your hand's in a comfortable position. You're not bending your thumb and doing that. You're not like this. It's just relaxed and comfortable. Your wrist is straight, your shoulders relaxed. You can mix it up. You don't need to. It's just a bit of fun exercise. You don't need to stay for 4 or 8 bars, whatever you want. On the G there, you can come back to the C whenever you like. You can come from there if you want. It's a bit more difficult. So I wouldn't suggest it just now. But if you can do it smoothly, good on you.